there, creepy collectors, how's it going? It's Douglas here at Drumblade Productions, bringing you another Scream and Ghostface collector's video. And today's video is going to be a doozy because we have what is possibly the largest vintage merchandise unboxing on the channel. I think that possibly the old videos with that amazing lot of Tag Fantastic Faces is probably the biggest vintage mask lot, but this has more variety, and this has been insane. And just to show you guys how insane this is, the person that found this ended up getting 3 or 4 times the amount of stuff that I have here in these boxes. But let me just show you the size of the boxes that we're going to be opening. They're pretty massive packages. And they are full of some really incredible stuff. But first, I have a couple of pieces to look at. So first up, we have a surprise gift that was sent to us by James Ferreira. Or at least I think it was James. It just says Ferreira. I'm pretty confident it came from James, but here we have a little incense tube. Inside of this incense tube is one item, very cool, that I do not have. Hopefully I can carefully get it out of here. Alright, we have freed it from its cardboard tomb. Here we have an original Scream 3 theater mylar. Welcome to the final act. Really, really cool, really badass. I don't have any theater mylars like these, any of the title mylars. The closest thing to that I have is that special Scream 2 opening lightbox mylar, but this is freaking sweet. Another awesome piece from Scream 3, and just a really, really cool mylar piece. It would be really cool if I could find mylars for some of the other films, and I guess once I get kind of more complete with the mask collection, this is the type of stuff I'll be going after. Super awesome, so thank you yet again. Next up, we have a few pieces from my old collection. As some of you may know if you've been watching these videos for a while, a couple of years back I had to sell off most of the Scream and Ghostface collection, and once I started recollecting those things, I tried to acquire or reacquire as much of my old stuff from that original collection as I possibly could. And this is one of those pieces. Well, technically we have 2 pieces. One that I was waiting on to do another video is this. Here we have the very original classic Ghostface machete with that original like Fantastic Faces style packaging tag there. So yeah, this was one of the originals from my collection. Unfortunately, the tag is not in perfect shape, a little beat up, but still, for as old as it is, it's a wonder that it's still tagged. And here's the next piece. The main item that we had worked out a deal for was for this. Yet again, one of the few things I was missing to complete that catalog image that we talked about recently. And with everything that's in these packages, guys, I have completed that catalog image, so we should be doing a video on all that stuff very soon. But without further ado, here we have one of the oddest ones. The child-size mask and robe. It's essentially an all-in-one, so it's like the full costume body sleeve bit with holes in it for sleeves. Yeah, it's kind of odd, but still, the tag on these is really, really awesome. I love the images on the tag, not just the trick-or-treating Ghostface on the front, but that whole family on the back. Obviously, the child-size masks, sculpt-wise, aren't that great, and of course, you know, for adults like us, they're completely useless, but this was another cool merchandise piece that does help complete that collection. And now, we finally get into the fun part, which is going to be opening up these packages. I don't know what's in each box, but I know, obviously, everything we have coming, so I'm excited to check this stuff out. Okay, I've got the one box cut open, but I guess before we crack into it, I should go ahead and tell you guys the story about what we have here. So a couple of months ago, Caleb Durham stumbled upon a find that we all hope to find one day, which is an old vintage Halloween store that's been untouched since the 90s. Well, a couple of weeks ago, some of you might have been there, I did a nice little live stream with my friend Tim Wagstaff over on his YouTube channel. We were talking about just vintage merchandise, all sorts of different things, and one of the things that got brought up was a tagged tie. Now, I do have an untagged tie. I've bought 2 tagged ties in the past and got scammed both times, and Tim was mentioning he had a tagged one that we might could work something out for, whatever it may be. Well, after the live stream, Caleb messaged me and said, hey, that Halloween store I went by actually did happen to have a couple tagged ties, so if you need one, I'll go check it out. A couple days pass, Caleb goes by there and sends me some pictures, I think after he was leaving pretty much, sent me some pictures of like, oh look, I found 3 tagged ties, and found this merchandise and that merchandise, and he was just sending me some pictures of the inside of the store, and I was blown away. They had so much amazing vintage Fun World stuff that I had never even seen before. Unfortunately, not a ton Ghostface-wise that was that mind-blowing, but a lot of other cool non-Ghostface Fun World designs or just other masks and products they put out. Some really weird costumes, too. And just in the pictures that Caleb sent me, I was like, dude, you gotta go back. They have so much good stuff for such good prices. Look, I will pay you to clear them out just so we can help out some fellow fans and collectors. Caleb then went back and bought everything Scream and Ghostface that they had pretty much, and decided that instead of us working out that deal, he wanted to go ahead and just sell it to me, since essentially if I did get all the extras, I would just be selling it or trading it to other Scream and Ghostface fans. So he picked them up for himself and then sold me the pieces that I want. So it was not cheap, but we have some really incredible fucking pieces here, and I gotta thank Caleb for hooking me up on these, because guys, I literally just kind of sat back and was looking through a lot of the different mask types I have and stuff like that, and I'm getting pretty close to complete on some of these vintage collections, or even just the odds and ends normal style Ghostface masks. But I had just mentioned in Nate, I'm missing like the bleeding mask types and some of the electronic mask types, some of those weird odds and end costumes, stuff like that. And what we have here is some of the rarest of rare pieces like that I was talking about. So enough of me babbling on, let's go ahead and crack into these and take a look at what I picked up. Yet again, can't thank you enough, Caleb. I absolutely cannot wait to check all this out. These boxes are massive. Okay. All beautiful green bubble wrap on the inside. Okay, I think this one has some of the cooler, rarer stuff in it. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, yes, yes, yes. I almost forgot about this. So, one of the items that Caleb happened to come across was one of the original Ghostface style machetes. This one is in a lot better condition tag-wise. Does not have a sticker on it. However, this is one problem we're going to run into with a majority of the stuff in this box. It has the price written on the tag or written on the package with Sharpie. $2.25 for one of these original vintage machetes. That's a fucking amazing price. Yeah, these were like stellar prices here. Next up, here we have the color changing Ghostface. Check that out. So, I don't think I've ever had one of these at all. I know I've had like the light up fiber optic type, I think it was. There's a couple of different odds and ends electronic types that have come through here, but I've never had one of these original color changing types. Eerie light up Ghostface mask changes to all colors of the rainbow. Requires 3 AA batteries included. The secret switch makes this mask change to all the colors of the rainbow. I'm not going to take out the Try Me since it has the original Try Me in it. He did happen to find, like I said, pretty much multiples of almost everything that I'm unboxing here. But he did have some of these with the Try Me, you know, open. I thought about maybe picking that up for the channel just to show you guys one of these working, but we're all about that original condition packaging, and this is as good as it gets with the ones he found. Pretty much perfect. Minus, you know, the big $14.95 written right across the face there. Wow, you gotta love the back of that package. How cool looking is that? Beautiful. All right, on to the next item. This is the one item out of all of this that was damaged, and this is the one item out of all of this that I really didn't want to be damaged, but still, I've never seen one of these exact versions of this thing before in the collector's community at all, so really happy to have this. Here we have an original red glowing blood Ghostface. Geez, maybe I should take it out of this costume bag. Let you guys get a better look at it. Everything here is still originally packed, originally sealed. It's all complete. Unfortunately, someone did rip open the package down the side here, so it's not a mint condition package, which is really disheartening because, like I said, out of anything that could have been damaged or could have been messed up, this is the one thing you really didn't want to see that with. Because I've only ever seen costume versions of the red or green glow blood. Never one of the mass package versions, so really sad to come across it opened up, but still really cool to find one with the original packaging at all. So yeah, Glowing Blood Ghostface includes pump and Omniglow TM blood, so I don't know what Omniglow is, but have to look that up. Omniglow blood lasts for hours. Bleeding Ghostface headpiece drips and dribbles blood. Exciting new features. Animated flowing blood that trickles and oozes for everyone to see. Concealed handheld pump allows blood to be pumped through mask for a realistic effect. In typical Fun World fashion, the picture there does seem to just be a normal bleeding mask, but they just took like a little airbrush effect in Photoshop and put that over it to simulate the glow. Which, I mean, fair enough, I guess it works. As for the mask itself, it seemed to be a standard plastic bleeding mask, but after looking at it in person, this is a much harder, thicker plastic. Like, this is the hardest plastic Ghostface mask that we've seen, including the more modern plastic Ghostface masks. Very interesting. But other than that, I guess it's just a regular old bleeding mask. It has a black heart. That's really cool. So yeah, this is the rarest of rare bleeding types pretty much. Like I said, you don't really come across the red or green glowing blood too often. I think they only made them for 1 year and they weren't super popular, unfortunately. I guess it could be because even if you have the Omniglow blood, which may look cool, may look badass, unfortunately we don't know. Maybe I'll try to figure something out where we can see if we can recreate something like that for the channel in the future, but I would assume that the reason they didn't do too well is because, oh yeah, you've got this blood, which I'm guessing is essentially like glow stick juice, that would last a few hours for your trick-or-treating purposes, but then never again. It holds no purpose otherwise. You've just got this, I guess it would be red fluid in this? I don't know, I haven't even seen it. Either way, I'm guessing once the effect is worn off, it's kind of lost a lot of the novelty, and then you've just got this non-glowing blood going through the mask. So I don't know really why they weren't more popular, because it's such a cool effect and one of the coolest costume and mask types ever, but still, just gotta love that I was able to pick up one of these. Alright. I think that's it for this package. So the smaller box is now done and out of the way, guys. Hope you guys have been enjoying the video so far. This is going to be a longer one for sure, but I figured that you guys would enjoy one nice giant unboxing to sit back and throw on for background noise, or maybe you're actually watching this, who knows. But I figured you'd probably enjoy that more than, you know, a couple of smaller videos on just a couple of items here and there. And hopefully you guys have been enjoying the Jason Goes to Hell costume build. Was really hoping to have it all finished by Friday the 13th. Tried my hardest, but just wasn't in the cards. Almost got it done, but just wasn't in the cards. Alright, let's take a look at what we got in here. Well, other than more green bubble wrap. Ooh, this is one that I guess I'm excited about. I kinda am, kinda not. It's an odd one. This is definitely more of a completionist piece. Amongst all the other amazing, really old Ghostface finds that he was able to come across, Caleb also found 2 original run, first run, collector's edition tagged masks. Some of you may already be able to see the spots, and yeah, these are the spotty boys, unfortunately. This is the original run that had all the blue spots, that true collector's edition quality. And he's gonna be staying in this plastic bag. I don't even know if he'll be staying in this room. He doesn't really belong in here. But still, out of the couple of collector's edition styles I was missing, a first run was one. I'm missing a TD stamp collector's edition, and other than that, just an original, that style Scream 4 production mask, and I've got the full suite of any of that version shroud that was ever released pretty much. I don't know if I mentioned or not, but it does have the price written on the tag as well, which is not that big of a deal because the collector's edition and really the Scream 4 era tags just weren't that exciting anyway, so not that big of a deal. Just another awesome piece to add to that completionist set. And speaking of being a completionist, I think I just completed. Finally, it's finally happened. After so many attempts, after getting scammed twice on buying one of these, we finally have an original tagged Ghostface latex tie. Or it's a vinyl tie, but everybody calls it the latex tie. It's technically called the Ghostface horror tie. It says the horror tie is a fast and fun way to dress up. The perfect touch for parties, the office, and instant masquerade. Includes elastic neckband. So obviously this is the Scream branded one, but I think Fun World did do other horror ties at the time. I've seen a couple of different odd ones pop up over the years, but these are pretty popular. I don't think I've ever seen a human being wear this unironically, so I'll have to be the first since I do have an untagged one. Alright, next up we have another costume, and this is one that actually was worked out via trade. So this is not something Caleb sold me. This is something we worked out before he went back to the costume shop to pick up this other stuff for me. So he did pick this up from the same place, but it was the first trip he made. Here we have an original packaged Wassup Ghostface costume from Scary Movie. Really, really cool to finally have one of these. Now that I'm starting to get a lot of the vintage mask types and just other tag types knocked out, I'll probably start working on some of the odds and ends costumes. And of course the Wassup Killer costume was a must. Coming across these is pretty uncommon, just because the Wassup Killer actually is very, very popular. If I'm not wrong, I'm pretty confident that it's been said before that once they started producing the Scary Movie Killer masks, that those were outselling Ghostface just super, super quick, and still have continued to do that all these years later. So finding one of these still sealed, pretty hard to come across. Alright, so next up we have a mask, and we're getting to the end of this, guys, don't worry. We've got just this mask and one more surprise. And this mask in particular is one that helps complete a set that I've been working on. I wasn't necessarily trying to go after the set, but once I got the other three, I knew I had to get the last one. Some of you may recall, not too long ago, I acquired the full set of purple, blue, and green TD metallic Ghostface masks. The only one I'm missing to complete that full set is the red metallic Ghostface. This is the red metallic Ghostface. Here we have it. I passed up on one of these on a couple of separate occasions in the past and greatly regretted it. Mostly just because it was a red metallic, and that was before I even had those other three. So now that I've got those three, I knew I had to pick up one of these to try and complete that set. And wow, guys, this thing is gorgeous. It's not quite as like a deep red as the normal EU style. It almost looks kind of like a coppery-ish red in person, but on camera it seems to show up just as a really, really nice metallic red color. Either way, it's a really, really beautiful mask, and the TD metallic has actually become one of my favorite metallic types. I don't know why. I'm not a huge fan of this mold type in the regular black and white style, but in metallic it just looks so good. Really awesome to finally have one of these. That's another collection completed. And now we're down to the last piece. Here we have, this is a big one, guys, an original, sealed, giant size Scream Stalker costume. Wow. These are incredibly hard to come across. Obviously, they were not very popular. They did not sell very well. Nobody wants an additional 2 feet added to their height to dress up as Ghostface. Oh yeah, I'm going to a costume party. Let me just destroy this costume through every doorway I have to walk through. Or you're limited to staying outside. So I guess if it was an outside event or something like that, it could definitely be fun. And I could see where people could have fun wearing this, but I also see why it was not very popular. So obviously from the front here, you've got 5-piece giant costume, height extending frame included, giant Scream Stalker, fits up to 250 pounds, good to know. Hooded robe with one-way view mesh chest, so yeah, it's a giant robe with a big odd mesh there in the chest where you can see out of it, of course. Fabric gloves, stalker mask, lightweight height extending frame, giant shoulders, giant head, shoulder straps, waist strap, and assembly guide. And the backside of this is pretty freaking awesome as well. I know it's probably pretty difficult for you guys to see it with the glare and all, but it says Giant Scream Stalker, become a tower of total terror this Halloween. Giant Scream Stalker features special effects frame that is worn comfortably with shoulder and waist straps. Stalker shoulders and head tower above your own. Special one-way mesh chest allows you to see out, but no one can see in. Self-lock strips permit mesh chest to be open to eat, talk, and have fun enclosed to wreak total terror. For some extra awful effects, use Funworld's voice changer so that people will hear a shrieking stalker voice come out of the mask. That's actually pretty cool. Unless, of course, you know what those old voice changers sound like, then I guess the shrieking part's pretty accurate. And then it just has a diagram of how you put it on. This guy who looks very, very happy about revealing his face behind the mesh. And the most interesting part here is at the bottom, it says visit our website at www.screamstuff.com. So apparently that's when they had the URL for Scream Stuff. Overall, pretty freaking awesome. This is something I'll never be taking out and putting together. But there you have it, guys. I think that pretty much covers it. Yet again, huge thank you to Caleb for hooking me up on this stuff. Although Caleb found even more amazing stuff than this. So if you guys want to see pictures of that, maybe go check it out on his Instagram if he's posted those up. If not, guess you should be in the Scream and Ghostface collectors groups. But yeah, now we have completed a couple more collections, so sometime in the near future I'll have to do videos on those complete collections, so be on the lookout for those. But as of now, I'm going to get back to finishing up this Jason costume. All I got to do at this point is weather up the clothes, and hopefully we'll have the rest of that video done a week from now. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you all for watching. I know it was a long one, but we definitely had some really incredible vintage stuff, a massive cache of really hard to find stuff. So I'm happy, I hope you're happy. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to like, subscribe, all that nonsense, and love you guys, and see you next time.